Well, Diana, it sounds like the defense attorneys are absolutely frustrated with the level of media scrutiny on their clients. They asked the judge for a change of venue today. They want to take this trial out of state to a place where the jurors would not be impacted by years of media coverage. They're especially upset about some recent stories. And the judge said, essentially, at this point, that's a premature request. She did tell them they could put their request in writing. They can file motions on this subject. You can bet that they probably will. Now, they just left the court for today. I understand that they have a qualified pool of 60 jurors plus a few extras, and from that number of 60 tomorrow they will be seating this jury. A man who said he thought Bobby Ferguson may have been guilty in his previous federal case and a woman who once briefly met the former mayor are just two of the latest people to make it into the jury pool in the Kilpatrick corruption case. Kwame Kilpatrick, his father Bernard Kilpatrick, his longtime friend Bobby Ferguson, and former Detroit Water Department boss Victor Mercado are all charged with racketeering, accused of running a criminal enterprise in the city. The first potential juror of the day was a well-informed retired businessman who was one of the most talkative people yet in the 8 days of jury selection. The defense seemed concerned about his comments on his questionnaire that said, quote, Kwame was not a good mayor for Detroit. And when he was asked what he knew about Ferguson's other federal trial earlier this year, the man said he felt Ferguson was guilty because he had heard that all but one of the jurors in the case wanted to convict the former city contractor.
Well, you know, there we go. There's another stealth juror for you.
Despite those statements, he insisted he could weigh this case only on the facts presented in court, and he stayed in the jury pool.
That gentleman sounds like a problem for the defense, and really a problem for the system, period. If he already has a preconceived notion of what took place in the last case based upon media reports, he wasn't in the jury room, he doesn't know what the vote was.
Another potential juror said she had once supported Kwame Kilpatrick, and she even received a certificate from him after she volunteered as an ambassador for the Super Bowl. While she may have sounded like a slam dunk for the defense, she did agree with Kilpatrick's lawyer, who asked whether she could convict his client if the government proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt. She said she could.
He wanted to know if she would be fair to both sides, both the prosecution and the defense. I also would suggest that perhaps what Jim Thomas is doing is not giving the government a reason to excuse it.
Once again, tomorrow they will be seating this jury from a pool of 60 qualified jurors plus a few extras if they need them. And coming up tonight on 7 Action News at 6, I'll have much more about this request to move this trial out of state. And you'll hear from one of the defense attorneys who's very fired up about what has happened in recent days in some of the media reporting and why they're so upset and why they now want to take this trial to a different venue. Reporting live at the federal courthouse in downtown Detroit, I'm Heather Catallo, 7 Action News.